And here we are, setting out for another one. Picking up Interstate 70 to begin our westbound trek. The 70 begins here and goes as far as Nevada. That's a long haul. If you can read that sign, that's how far 70 goes. A place called Cove Fort. As I said, that's a haul. And again, the truck inspection station, it's only been used once or twice. Make me wonder why they spent money to put it in. Not too bad out there on this first day of daylight savings time. Partly sunny, partly cloudy, but temps holding in the 30s. And in fact, in a couple of days, we're expecting a big snowstorm. As you can see, there's been some pre-treatment of the road going on. Those white stripes there in the right lane. Some pre-treatment there, but I don't know how it works. Now surmounting Pars Ridge, named after Pars Spring, wherever that is. And once over the ridge, you can make out some mountains. But up here, we exit the freeway. Now that we're off the freeway, the adventure really begins. Passing beneath CSX, their old main line. Originally B&O. But before that, the line ran down here, along this little hillside. But there's the grade. It got taken out in 1905. And it ran that way. This is Monrovia. Now approaching Route 355. Formerly US 240, up until the mid-1960s. At one time a branch of US 40, as US 340 still is, but that goes the other way. But up here picking up Route 109. We now approach Interstate 270. When this road got put in, the road that we were just on got demoted. The mid-60s. Over there, Sugarloaf Mountain. Now passing through Barnesville. I'm about to make one more turn to keep on our route. And up ahead another CSX line, formerly B&O. The Metropolitan Branch. Or just called the Met. Let's have a fast look. Now we're stopped by Barnesville Station. Hey, that's the band that did that song, Smoking in the Boys' Room, back in the 70s. Or something like that. Anyway, it began as a gas metering station back in the 1930s or 40s. And moved here in 77 to replace the original station that was here. And there it is. Also, commuter trains stop here as well. And they even have music playing over the speakers as they do in Edgewood, just not as loud. Yeah, she had a fall recently, but she's getting better. We crossed Pars Ridge on I-70, as you recall, but Barnesville sits on top of the ridge as well, so we're back on top of Pars Ridge. That's facing west, that direction, and east, towards Washington. Finding the car, it's rather comfortable, but out here it's chilly. Yep, that radio station's still on. That belongs to the commuter, or whatever, the commuter company. Yeah, Barnesville Station. What recalls that song, Smoking in the Boys' Room? Anybody besides myself? And back on the road. Around here someplace, about 10 years back, some sheriff coming the other way, around a blind curve, almost hit me head on while cutting the curve. One of these curves around here. A sheriff, no less. Cut the curve, coming the other way, and almost hit me as I was going this way. Yup. Almost got hit by... Who's that? What's the guy's name? Almost had an accident with Andy Taylor. Sheriff Andy Taylor almost hit me head on. Couldn't remember for a second. Yep. Andy Taylor almost hit me. Around here someplace. Yep. Andy and Mayberry almost got me. How about Barney Fife if you'd heard about it? You had a fun time teasing Andy. Now arriving in this place. Getting built up. 10 years back, nothing there. You turn your back and look what happens. I prefer that. The traditional stuff. And now about to pick up Route 107. I prefer the old stuff. Looks nicer. Looks like it belongs here, not the new stuff. Nice to be on a peaceful road, more relaxing. The trees budding out a bit early because it's hot February. The trees are getting full. But in a couple of days, they'll die. We're getting a few inches of snow. 4 to 8 inches, they're calling for. Looking out there now, you never know it. Oh. One of my kind. But I can't ride the streets anymore. Too many hills. Yeah, pull over a bit. See if I can get by this guy safely. Yeah, I think I can. Now, when I bike road in the streets, and I saw a car in my mirror, I pull over to the right a bit, let the car get by. Better than being killed. If I get killed, I can't ride any longer. A little ways back, I took it to Harper's ferry. And now I'll show you a ferry that still operates. To our right, the Scenic Canal. That's where I do my bike riding. Over there, old Civil War bridge. That truss you see over there. But no deck on it, so you can't walk over it. Crossing the canal and arriving White's Ferry. The last ferry left on the Potomac River. Before checking out the ferry, there's a Civil War era bridge. But of course, no more deck on it, so you can't cross it. But I believe one time some famous general crossed that bridge. Either Robert E. Lee or somebody else. Yep, once a famous crossing to the Potomac. And of course, down below, the Scenic Canal. But filled in right there for the road to pass over. And here's the top of the bridge. As I said, no decking. And down below, the remains of an historic culvert on the canal. Of course, some of it's been taken out for drainage purposes, but some parts of it are left. And looking behind me on the canal, southeast towards Washington. As I said, I've had many a bike ride on this canal. Lots of memories here for me. Now we'll check out the ferry itself. A photo from the turn of the last century showing a car crossing on the boat at the time. It's got a AAA sticker. AAA's been around that long. Over there is the previous ferry boat. Went into service in 1954 and taken out in the late 1980s. And they call it the General Jubal Early. They call the new boat that too. But he's not the one who crossed here back in the Civil War. He crossed a few miles to the east at Edwards Ferry. So a bit of a misnomer there. Here's a store that's open during the summer with marks that show you how far up the floods came over the years. And out by the Potomac River, across there is Virginia. In fact, the river is in Maryland. The shoreline is the state line across there. And over here, our current ferry boat. That old boat held maybe 6 cars, 8 cars. That holds about 30. Otherwise known as Slow Boat to Virginia. But now coming back to Maryland. Making its way here. And over here, a couple of cars waiting for it to make their crossing into Virginia. Are now about to dock. Okay, gentlemen, start your engines. Oh, that's right. A NASCAR race today that I'm missing to bring you this. You can take your bike over the ferry too, and your feet. They allow pedestrians as well. 50 cents a piece. Here go these vehicles about to board. Only 2 for the trip to Virginia. One more cross back here to Maryland. Oh, here comes the 3rd. All right, see you in Virginia. This is the last Potomac ferry left. One of the first, but the last one left. At one time, almost 100 of them on the Potomac. Hard to believe that. Once over 100, but now down to 1. There is a rope that the ferry is tethered to. That's what guides it. But you're not in Virginia until you drive off the ferry. It's almost landed in Virginia, and the car's simply driving off of it. Yeah, there they go. And about to load up for the return trip. And now for our ferry crossing. It costs $5 for vehicles, but now foot traffic's up to $1, not 50 cents. Oh well. Funny, when you're on the boat, you can't tell it's moving as it's crossing. You think you're still standing still. Funny how that works. Alright guys, here we go. My 3rd crossing of this. Just don't go too far and go through that gate. We'll be in the Potomac. Rapidly flowing right now. all loaded up. I'm about to move. In fact, right now we're moving, but you can't tell. This is amazing. We're moving, but you can't tell at all. But Virginia is getting closer. Looking west up the Potomac, north at this point. Virginia is getting closer. We're about to land. Pretty cool though. Better get back in my car. But first, time to go. Here we go. We're off the boat. Slow boat to Virginia. Not that slow, actually. Just funny how on the boat you can't tell it's moving. There you have it. Ferry across the Potomac. Like that 60s song. Ferry across the Mersey. Ferry across the Potomac. Up here we approach US 15. Parts of which I showed you before. And now south on it. Apparently Virginia treated their roads too for the impending snowstorm. A 15 now bypasses Leesburg, that direction. We're staying the original route through Leesburg. Now entering Leesburg. Founded 1758. But now, a tourist trap. But a nice one. In the warm months, it's wall-to-wall people here. Now pets in place. A trail made from an old railroad. The W&OD Trail. Now ahead we cross it. Right there. Right here. And now we're stopped by it. W&OD. Washington and Old Dominion. That's what it stood for. Arlington to the left, Purcellville to the right. And looking to the right, west towards Purcellville. The line began in the 1800s and was abandoned in 1968. Track pulled up shortly thereafter. And to the east, Arlington's that way, about 30 miles, give or take. Maybe more, maybe less. All in all, a nice area here in Leesburg. For the most part. Nice blue sky anyway. North on Old 15 towards downtown Leesburg. Got some nice neighborhood houses too. Very picturesque. Here you have it. Historic Leesburg. And back on original Route 15, heading out the way we came, heading north this time. Old architecture, my favorite. Nice quaint buildings here. And a red light. Buckets, we'll soon pass through there. And one more look at downtown Leesburg.
There's a deer.
Kind of like Ellicott City in a way. Not too much foot traffic. A lot of vehicle traffic though all of a sudden. Heading south. Still love these old buildings here. I prefer one of these to a new development. Much nicer, much more classy. As long as they're kept up, that is. It's not just Leesburg. Not departing. Up here is Weiss Ferry Road. We came out of the right a little while ago. Again, a pre-treated road for the coming snow, but I don't know how that works. What those stripes are. Before the coming of the expressways, these U.S. routes were called interstates, believe it or not. My driver ed teacher taught me that back in '71. Before the expressways, these were the interstates, because you use these U.S. highways to get to the different states, so it makes sense. Some more trivia for you there, highway trivia. I'll take that house, pretty in pink. Oh. A lot of junk there, kind of like Sanford and Son. I guess they moved here. Well, that's cool. As promised, passing through Luckett's. Nice buildings, but that cell tower spoils it. Can't avoid those, can we? Oh, red block, back at you. But first, the old Luckett's store. Better price on gas here than in Pennsylvania. Never there in the distance, or closer by, part of Catoctin Mountain. houses there by the foot of Catoctin. Some over here too. And more of it in the distance there. That's on the Maryland side in the distance. Oh, don't pull out on me. There are better gas prices here than to the north. And we got a cool cut here, just before our Potomac crossing. We're about to recross the Potomac back into Maryland. Also crossing over the Scenic Canal and the CSX line. We're back in Maryland officially. As I said, the shoreline is the state line. Currently 15 bears straight that direction. We'll go right over the original 15, now Route 28. Now officially in Point of Rocks. Colorful place. And just in time. Thank you. Just in time. Classic station there, designed by E. Francis Baldwin. Back in the 30s, it got struck by lightning and almost burned totally down. But the B&O spent the money to fix it back totally and completely. Back during the Depression, they still found the funds to fix that. Good they did. Both CSX lines meet here. The Metropolitan branch over there, Metropolitan subdivision, whatever, coming out of Washington. And over here, the old main line, coming out of Baltimore. And both meet right there on their way west. Before we depart, she has to do her thing. Come in. Okay, all done. Back on the road. About to cross the old main line. The line to Baltimore. That direction. I've ridden that line twice, actually. Back in 80 and 81. Behind Chessie 614. Great ride over that line. Up there again, Sugarloaf Mountain, which I showed you earlier. And a car in front of me not doing full speed. And stuff along here. The current 15 would have been faster, but this 15 is more scenic, the original route. And more historic too. Now coming into Tuscarora. Where is it? Nothing to it, just a farm. One farm and a couple of houses. That's Tuscarora. How about that? Oh, 2 farms and 3 houses. My bad. But it's got a zip code, 21790. If you got a zip code, you've got clout. All 15 then bent to the left automatically, but now we have to signal for a left turn because he changed the road around. Hold on here. A bit more scenic this way. All farmland around here, mostly agrarian. More of it over there, along with Catoctin Mountain. But these days, still profitable to run a farm. They're the lowest paid people on the food scale. What a shame. And they do most of the work. If it weren't for them, we'd all be hungry, and they get paid the least. They're just in the house off the road. I'll live there. Long walk to get my mail, though. Now entering Buckystown. Another quaint hamlet. Gray house and pink house. Which one should I pick? Decisions, decisions. Still prefer these than new stuff on those developments. And downtown Buckystown. Wow, how busy it is here. Not a bad gas price though.
Purple house.
Hey, Dolly says Purple House. Up ahead, the old main line again. Point of Rocks to the left, Baltimore to the right. And I've ridden that way twice. A sign back there said, increase the train traffic. Now there's my sign. Up here, English Muffin Way. As I keep saying, you can't make that stuff up. Now coming into the Frederick area. In the county by the same name. Another red block. But at this point, gotta get back on the freeway. Baltimore, that sounds good. Let's go there. And no better place for me to go right about now. And here it is. US 40 also follows this freeway for a while. As far as Ellicott City. And it appeared the exit where we got off earlier, as you'll recall. As I guess you'll recall. Just going in the full circle. Another inspection thing that's almost never open. Make me wonder why they paid to put it in. If you've got a bad truck being run through Maryland, you're welcome here. We won't stop you. But still, pretty cool driving home with still some light outside. Now we're on daylight savings times and no more night Odyssey. Now the whole trip is a day Odyssey. Well, a mini Odyssey, whatever. Huh. That's different. Driving home, it's still daylight outside. Check that out. And again, I'm about to recross Pars Ridge, named after Pars Spring, wherever that is. I think the Par guy was an early settler around here back in the 1700s. In fact, old maps show this as Pars Spring Ridge, the full name. But a ways back, the word spring got taken out. And some more trivia for you. The town in PA, New Freedom, also sits on this ridge. I never told you that before. Or did I? We were there a couple weeks ago. Last week, whatever. But westbound traffic is slowing up for some reason. We're going east. Okay, the backup ends there, alright. But behind us they're slowing up, heading west. Don't know why. I didn't see anything. Still, great driving back in the daytime. Hopefully soon I'll be able to resume the full-fledged day Odysseys. One of these days. Hopefully next month. We'll see. Here's a split. 70 to the left, US 40 to the right. Yep, towards Ellicott City. You got it. I'm back in the Baltimore area. Obviously. New York. I've been there too. But not since '97. Once at the Empire State Building. I gotta go there again. I did take video of it, which I posted. Back on our beltway, with much traffic, on this first day of daylight savings time. That's probably why. Despite the way it looks out there, hard to believe that in 2 days, there'll be a big snowstorm. But still, great going back. And it's still daytime out there. As I said, that's different. But here we depart the interstate system. I watched them build this back in 1962. It was built in sections. And up ahead, re-entering Baltimore. In the daytime, no less. And back in the hood, with still some daylight. Sun's going down now, though, or will pretty soon. Looks stuff's blooming because it got fooled thanks to a warm February. Hope you enjoyed today. Got your ferry ride. Now that's something completely different, isn't it? A ferry boat. This is where I'll be moving all my stuff to. Instead of being here just part-time, I'll soon be here full-time. This might be off the air for a while in the near future as I move. But again, a big thank you to all my subscribers. A very big thank you to those who stuck by me over the years. Much appreciated. And again, thank you for the privilege of your time.